Hi, I'm George,
And I'm Donna.
and this is about our Viking trip. We were on the Danube River, and we went to Budapest first. Budapest, sorry, that's the way you say it. That's our statement. But this is a menu that you get on a ship. The one that's on the left is like standard American food, like steak, like that, and that one's usually the other side's usually local food. So this is what our view was when we woke up day two. Day one, we got there late. That's why those were night scenes. But day two, we took a little tour of the town on the bus. Got to see some neat sights. I, this is the Castle District. The bus took us up. This is the top of the hill. Pretty cool.
We got to see a lot of beautiful things, a lot of beautiful churches.
Yeah, this was an amazing one. And you learn about the history while you're there. This is a good view of the city. This castle was amazing. And you can really see far from up here. And of course, there's a Starbucks. I think almost every city we went to, we found a Starbucks at one point or other. This is the Great Hall, and pretty neat.
And there's
Chim-
chimney cakes.
that was
They
good.
were good.
So that night, um, the site it's
It's
fantastic.
spectacular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the city's all lit up, and you might have seen a flash in the sky. There was some heat lightning that evening, which kind of added to it. There it is.
I don't even remember seeing that.
Yeah. So we don't travel much during the day on the boat on these river cruises. You mainly at night, except for one day, which will come up eventually. So this is water slow. This is a lock. When as you're going up the river, you'll go in these locks where you go in. They fill it up with water. The door closes behind you. It fills up with water, and you move out, and on you go. Water Slover was neat.
Hmm. I think every city we went to is neat. They each had their different.
Yeah.
They
Another
all had
church.
beautiful churches.
That was a toy store we passed. That was in the window. But as you can see in some of these pictures, the streets are cobblestone most of the places.
A lot of transportation, local transportation.
Vienna. We're going to Vienna next. It's a beautiful city. That's the Winter Palace. I believe that was the where the Habsburgs, um, one of their palaces, one of the predominant families back in history. Who's that?
I don't know. Those crazy people keep taking their picture.
Yeah, it's crazy as you're walking along. You see all these old buildings, and then there'll be a modern place right next door, and modern stores, shops, high end shops.
That was
Uh,
the Rose Garden. That was really nice.
yeah, these yeah beautiful gardens. I don't know what was going on at this time, but they were off to the one side. There was a bunch of rose bushes and stuff that was there. Oh yeah, it started drizzling while we were there, and we got We went in and got some pizza, um, cremes. Um, Neat little time, but we actually didn't spend time in town. We went up to this monastery, which was pretty amazing.
Hmm.
A lot of history. They have redwood trees. Apparently one of the monks had gone to California, was so in awe of the redwoods, and brought some seeds back, and they grew them. But again, some of the awesome looking. That's the model of the monastery. I don't think it was ever fully completed.
That ceiling was painted in what? How many days?
It
Like
was like 6 days. Like
six. Yeah, it
yeah,
was crazy.
and again from up here on these hills, you get such a great view. There's Sue and
Oh,
Mark.
there's Sue and Mark.
Yeah, we were friends of ours on the trip. Okay,
This
so
was on the river, and it was like a 3 hour trip down the river, and it was
up.
just up the river.
Yep.
But it was just amazing.
Yeah, like I said, most of the time you spent during the day you were at um, cities or whatever. But this is the one day where we actually spent some time traveling, and it was really cool. As you're going up the river, like you can see on up there, there's a castle up on a hill.
And there was a lot of wineries on the hills. The hills had vineyards.
Yeah, and other river cruises. That's something that shocked me. The number of other um, river cruise boats that we saw there. I think that one I just went by might have been more like a party boat, but there was a lot of them. This is the Danube, by the way, if I didn't say it before. It's pretty amazing just cruising through here, seeing the little towns as you pass by.
I think that was my favorite part of the whole trip was sitting on top of the boat and just watching the scenery go by. We saw a lot of beautiful places.
I was in a monastery there, another lock. Linz, Austria. So we started off in Hungary, and
That was our captain.
yeah. This is pretty cool little town too,
The streets were, and the flowers, the streets, everything was just beautiful.
and everything's so well taken care of.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, we had a little pause there with audio difficulties. Okay, so there we are. Can't remember exactly what this place was, but it was. I feel bad in a way that tour guides tell you all the stuff and then you forget half the stuff. This is a little restaurant.
We ate there. Food was pretty good.
That was part of the neat part of traveling around like this. Sometimes we would just pop into a local. Oh, we took this trolley up to the top of the hill.
That was pretty cool. And there was all those locks, keys.
Yeah. This wasn't a huge church. This was more of just we went to the top of this hill, check out the sights.
You got to see a lot from up there, though.
Yeah, and that old trolley we took up there, that's something we need to do more of when we make these trips. You're taking because the public transportation over there is so awesome. Passau, Germany. This town kind of reminds me of Pittsburgh.
A little bit, yeah.
Because you got the three rivers going into it. Actually, it's four, but one's so small, I don't know. Consider it a one.
Yeah, because you could see that when we were up in the top of that hill, you could see the three, the different rivers.
So for some reason, they paint some of the cobblestones in here. This town gets flooded, and that's one of the weird things about it. Like they were showing how high up it had gone. That's a beer fountain, by the way. They have a festival, and that beer flows out of that. So this would be the Inn River, I think is what they called it. That's an old monastery. And you'll see some of these buildings, they have different colors, and they point out that that had a meaning. That like green may have been a pharmaceutical, whatever, and they've just maintained the colors of the buildings over the years.
They have to get permission to paint them, and they have to be the same color and the same.
Yeah, you can't just paint your house wherever you want in these parts of the historical parts of the town. And you there's a super modern mall there too. It's crazy. Sue and Mark. And we went up that hill, and Sue is
A yoga instructor.
and a bit more athletic than us, and we were huffing and puffing going up there, and she's marching up like nothing.
She took us up a hillside. It was
Yeah.
pretty steep.
Yeah. But once we got there, it was really
There
cool.
was a really nice restaurant there that we ate at. That restaurant right there, and we got to sit and see this view from our table. It was pretty awesome.
I think it's a boat down there at the bottom. Yep, you can see them. That's the name of the restaurant. That was the menu.
We had iced coffees there.
And for whatever reason, you go down to the bathroom and they had all these post-it notes. It was just a thing. Yeah. You can see how where the two rivers meet. Now, the one at the top of the screen, I guess if you follow it up, it goes to Switzerland. And the other one goes on up through Germany. The one you can see there. Yeah, there we are again. I'm patting my belly. Yeah, hi. Okay. Yeah, there was a parade. This thing went on and on and on, so I cut the part out. I think you had gone back to the boat.
I did.
Okay, we extended the trip. We went to Prague. After we got off the boat for 2 days, and to get to Prague, we had to go.
Took a 3-hour bus ride.
Yeah, that little creek I was just showing there. That it was the divide between like Germany and the Czech Republic. They showed like where the gate used to be that doesn't exist anymore. This is the hotel.
Our hotel. It was really nice.
Mm-hmm. Slow tour through the thing. Right, here we go. Here's the bathroom. Ta-da. There I am in the mirror. This is outside. And we stopped, got pizza again. Eating all the local foods, right? Well, it was just convenient. It was across the street, and we were hungry and wanted to get something. That's an older trolley, but you'll see they have more. This is the train station. That's not
the trolley runs like 24/7 over there.
Yeah. So if you need to get anywhere, it's very convenient. And this is like in one of their main squares.
They had lots of stores, lots of.
Yeah. You went to the Pandora store there, but there's like everything, like high-end stores. Down there at the end of that was a government building, but
it was like another little farmer's market.
Yeah. Hard Rock Cafe.
We had good food there.
Yeah, I guess that clock to the left there. That's pretty cool. At on the hour, it's like a giant cuckoo clock. The little displays come out now. It's not modern. It was made 400 years ago, so it's low tech, but for its time, I'm sure it was pretty amazing. We had a scene there from our hotel again.
I was gonna say that was the breakfast in our hotel.
But you can see there's a mix of modern and old.
But very well maintained, very well taken care of.
Yeah, you don't see any trash or anything. It's this bridge here. When we got back home, we were watching The Amazing Race, and they had scenes like exactly right where we had been. Of course, when they filmed it, it was probably months before we were there, but it was neat to say, hey, we were there. Actually, I was watching a Lincoln Park video earlier today, and one scenes from that bridge. This is at the Czech Republic. This is the palace of government. It's not a government building. And in that church, they held the crown, and they were moving the crown that day, and we were there like hours before. Like they closed it off, and it was on the news when we got back to our hotel room. They had all the high officials there. Of course, we go to eat again.
That was a good place.
Yeah.
Food was good.
Yeah, that was some kind of like fried chicken.
That was with that guy. He said you gave him too much of a tip, and he gave it back.
Yeah. They do accept tips, but at some places, but they're not like American tips. 5-10%, if that. I think I gave the guy 20%, like we would in States, and the guy handed me back and said, "That's too much." That this walking along the river here was,
Yeah.
um,
We got to see a good bit that day.
yeah,
There's that building there that
yeah, what do you call it, the dancing hall or something like that.
dancing hall.
It was supposed to be Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers inspired building. Okay, don't understand, but oh no, there she is again. And then
There's the changing of the guards.
yeah, I cut some of this out. It was long, but it was neat to see them marching. And but that's our scenes from our trip. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Thanks. Okay, bye.